Good afternoon to all of you, the co-panelists and the delegates. On the subject that making the Telangana state the seed bowl of India and the world, I have a few suggestions since the chairman wanted us to take only 7 minutes ideally, so I will try to be ideally in 7 minutes time. Therefore, I'm going straight to the points what I have in my mind. See, the seed production, mostly the hybrid seed production, is highly labor intensive. The labor cost forms a significant cost of the seed production to the farmer. And these days, with the introduction of the Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, the labor availability is becoming a big problem. Therefore, I would suggest to understand the labor requirement pattern in a seed production area. If you look at Karimnagar district, which produces the hybrid paddy seeds, the labor requirement falls somewhere around January, February, March. In this period, there is a huge requirement of labor. There is plenty of work available in that village where the seed production happens. So those days, ideally, we should suspend the operation of the employment guarantee scheme. Similarly, if you go to Gadwal, the cotton hybridization of the cotton is highly labor intensive. This activity happens sometime between August to November. So such periods again, and again the seed grading and seed ginning happens in November, December. Enough of work is available to the workers. So the suspension of the employment guarantee schemes in those periods would naturally make the labor available to the farmer. Today, interesting fact, I have come across, I travel a lot in the villages. Some of the farmers were telling us that if I need money, I go to my laborer to borrow money from him. It is a fact. Because the laborers are getting more money than the farmers. Ever since the scheme came, we call it a success or whatever. I don't want to comment about the scheme, but the reality is many farmers are borrowing money from his own laborers. That's the reality, ground reality today in India, including our state. So therefore, we need to understand this. The second suggestion I have about the same thing is, why not we make the seed production activity also part of the employment guarantee scheme? If that is possible, that will solve the problem even better. So these two ideas, I request you to discuss with your counterparts in the Rural Development and Panchayat Raj Ministry, whoever is administering the employment guarantee scheme. This can give a big relief to entire farmers. So we have no vested interest as a private companies, but this is for the welfare of the farmers. The second suggestion I have is, there is a crop insurance scheme prevailing in the country. Unfortunately, it is not really giving any purpose, it is not serving any purpose to the seed growers who have got the highest risk. If a farmer growing paddy for a commercial market, his risk will be somewhere around 15 to 20,000 rupees per acre. Whereas the risk for a seed farmer is about 50,000 rupees per acre. It is more than 2.5 times. And the conditions that are there now, and the premium that he has to pay, the conditions that one has to meet to be eligible for getting the crop insurance in case of a seed crop, the fundamental condition is it has to be a certified seed crop. Many of the private hybrids, they are not meeting this requirement. Therefore, the farmers are not able to insure their seed crop. Telangana region, particularly Karimnagar, we have a perennial risk of every year in the summer months when the harvesting happens in March, in April and May, we have these winds, whirlwinds coming and hailstorms coming. Whirlwinds, hailstorms, these things are damaging the crop, but these damages are fortunately happening localized damages. So we have to cover proper insurance for them. Even if a 200 acres of area gets damaged, those farmers will have a severe problem. So that needs to be covered. So let us work on the insurance. This is not a forum actually to find solutions, but I'm flagging the issues. We can have roundtable discussions under your chairmanship in your office. We can also involve the insurance people. We can find out a viable mechanism of finding a solution for this kind of a insurance to the farmers. These things will make more and more farmers choose the opportunity of producing seeds and then de-risk the operations, and thereby the vision of making Telangana a seed bowl can always happen. The university can play a big role in development of techniques of seed production. In hybrid paddy, one of the key problems is synchronization of the male and female flowering. So there are solutions available as of now, that the gibberellic acid sprays. But I think we need to train the farmers on how to produce this in their villages. At present, we are importing it from China. We are giving huge money to China. And I understand that in Chinese farmers are producing the gibberellic acid requirements within their household. So we can also, I think, develop this skill to the farmers. It can save them a lot of money. I think, as per a rough estimate, per acre they spend something like 500 rupees to 1,000 rupees on this purchase of this gibberellic acid, which can be developed at the household level. Development of skills of understanding the techniques for getting the synchronization, not only in paddy, even in other crops, like even bajra. These aspects, I think, some more training to the farmers, where university, industry can collaborate and work together to create this awareness. Taking adequate precautions in the crop to get better germination. As such, Telangana has got wonderful agroclimatic conditions. Similarly, Rayalaseema of Andhra Pradesh also has got wonderful agroclimatic conditions, which are naturally coming to our rescue in giving us the seed vigor and germination. But little more care by the farmer, better understanding about these aspects will make them even better. So training programs regularly from the seed growing villages to the farmers, the next generation farmers who are coming up, will be always a useful thing, which I think the polytechnic colleges, which are now plenty. I'm glad that during my tenure as the board member of the Agriculture University, I used to talk that we should have more and more polytechnic colleges and more agriculture colleges. I think we have done significant improvement of the capacity of developing human resource, both in the agriculture colleges and polytechnics now. That has to be fully used by even bringing farmers for a short-term training programs of 2-day, 3-day programs. So that can be again a wonderful idea of creating the human resource which can lead towards the production of more and more quality seeds. As far as the industry is concerned, we have a few small requests. We need to have uninterrupted power supply, particularly during the months of March, April, which are highly sensitive for us. The seed processing is highly seasonal. We use our facility, which we create, spending hundreds of crores. I think industry cumulatively must have invested something like 3,000 to 4,000 crores around Hyderabad in creating the seed processing and storage facilities. And particularly in the month of March, April, the peak season occurs. The whole facility, if you look at any seed processing plant, it is hardly used for about 4 months in a year. Out of the 4 months, these 2 months are even more important. So kindly ensure us, through laying of dedicated industrial feeders, continuous power supply. That becomes a huge advantage to us. Of late, there has been some trouble happening out of the unionization of the workforces in the seed processing plants. We have been discussing among the members of the association. One solution is the sugarcane industry and the cotton ginning industry. They have special provisions in the labor law. I think seed industry also works on a seasonal basis. Therefore, those laws should be applicable to the seed industry also. These are the two suggestions which I had from my side. Another small thoughts were, focus on exports, which I already mentioned in the morning talk. This can be the future area. Harish also was talking about market expansion. If you produce more, what is going to happen to the marketing of the seeds? I think exports will be a good solution for that. And the collaboration between the university and the private sector, particularly with regard to the material exchange. A lot of good work is happening in the university research stations also. But the process of sharing those materials, I think we can follow the models of the IARI, New Delhi, and the ICRISAT. ICRISAT has formed several crop consortiums. Similarly, IARI also has come up with very good methods of public-private cooperation. So those methods can also be followed by our local universities, both Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. And maybe with your help, with the government help here, we can also do it with other universities, wherever there is a relevant material for us. That will help us in expanding and broad-basing our genetic resources for creating better and better hybrids. Thank you very much, sir, for this opportunity. Thank you.